Hey everybody, I'm Doug.
I'm Chris.
Uh, let's talk about the money.
Follow the money.
Follow the money.
Show me the money. Well, I wish they'd show me the money.
What movie was that on?
Oh, that's
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. Show me the money. That's what
definitely ain't
Black
gonna show
Lives
you
Matter's doing. Show me the money. The other night when Rand Paul got ambushed out in the streets of D.C., I said on that show, they have to follow the money, and he said basically the same thing. Follow the money. You'll find out who's backing Black Lives Matter and Antifa.
Everybody already knows who's doing it. It's the fact of proving they're doing it. And the only thing it's even going to become a topic is if Trump wins again. Then it'll be a topic. Other than that, it's not even going to be a topic.
If the Democrats are behind it, which I think they are, if they're behind it, they need to be prosecuted right along with Soros if he's behind it, because they're inciting riots. They're inciting a lot of bad things.
You have to have somebody like Soros, Bloomberg, or something doing that because, what the first place was getting truckloads of bricks shipped in. They're having communities. They're having Cash App. They're staying in hotels, expensive hotels. They're already showing it. The people are staying. What was the last place? Kenosha. They caught somebody that had just driven in from San Diego to Kenosha to join in the riots.
Mm-hmm.
He was staying at an expensive hotel that they had in Kenosha. Everything was already set up for him when he got there. The kid doesn't have any money. Who's paying for all this? Somebody bought him body armor and stuff and sent it to his Cash App and had him so he could buy his body armor and stuff like that. This is not cheap stuff.
Yeah, show me the money. Black Lives Matter, they're getting paid by somebody. Not only donations, but, these buses that I don't know if they're chartered buses or if they're
the ones that they had were chartered. They had 4 chartered buses. They were busing people into. I think that was Portland.
Them buses are not cheap.
No,
not cheap at all. And if they're bringing Antifa and Black Lives Matter across the state line to cities that are getting ready to get hammered by Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
and we're not talking about the peaceful protests during the day.
No.
Not even that's has nothing to do with anything we're talking. We're talking about the burning and rioting and looting peaceful protests at night. Those are what we're talking about.
Yeah. If we find out it's Democrat, we were just talking right before the show. If it's Democrats doing it, nothing's going to happen because nothing happens to a Democrat.
Look at Hillary. How many women has she crushed? I mean, ruined their entire lives.
I'm not saying that the people that surrounded the Clintons come up missing and found dead.
I am. They do.
They
do
I'm glad I'm not one of their
dead.
friends, and I'm glad I didn't know it. I wasn't in their inner circle.
Yeah, you definitely, and especially if you were female and Bill liked you, you were dead or gone or disappeared.
I don't know who's making them disappear, but somebody making them disappear. But follow the money. If it's Democrats, if you have something on the Democrats, you are in trouble because nothing's going to happen to them. They have the House, or they have the Congress. Nothing happens to them. Nothing. They're untouchable.
Even when they didn't have the House and the Congress, they all the ones there were still. I mean, you have to remember where I find it interesting where Hillary comes from. Do you know she worked on the
Nixon.
Nixon administration?
Yeah.
She changed parties after the Nixon administration, but she worked for the Nixon administration. Now, I don't know if she was part of that part of the stuff. Who knows? She knew somebody
Probably.
because she got in quick.
Was she fired off of that?
I think everybody was fired off of that.
Well, yeah.
I mean, pretty much everybody was gone.
I hope if it's the Democrats, they really need to be held accountable.
I think Trump's going to try, but even if he's the president and even if we get to Congress, I don't know that anything will actually happen.
How many seats? What do they need? 5 seats in the Senate?
They need 5. The Democrats have to take 5 seats in the Senate, but we have to take, I think it's like 20 seats in Congress.
Yeah, and we need them because the Democrats need to be stopped. They need to be stopped now. I think if we follow the money, and I think if Rand Paul, what he said, he wanted the FBI to investigate. I think if they do investigate it and they find out that the Democrats are behind it, I think that they will have to do something about it because there's too many eyes on it.
Like I said, the only shot. I'm gonna add this in. I know that the only shot in hell you have of that happening is Trump becomes president, and we get Congress.
Who was it? Comey that came on and said that she had a computer in her bathroom.
Yeah,
and she was doing business, White House business, or
an unsecured line,
a government business on an unsecured.
Yeah,
nothing happened to her.
Right.
Comey said yes, she did, but they didn't have enough evidence.
Well, actually, no. He said they had evidence. They just weren't going to do anything with it.
Yeah,
that was in the interview. He said just wasn't going to do anything with it.
Comey's in trouble right now, isn't he? I think they're going back after him.
Yeah, but
they need to.
I mean,
they're not above the law, even if they are the law.
What Hollywood have you watched?
Yeah, well, it's a shame. Follow the money, and you'll find where and who's behind it. Then they need to lock up everybody that's involved, and if they're a Democratic run, if these people are in Democratic cities that are behind it, they need to step aside and bring in a special prosecutor. Not let the Democrat
well, you hear that term a lot. Oh, special prosecutors. You're still going to have, no matter what prosecutor you bring, special or not, they're going to be one side or the other. The problem is, are they in need of money to where at the end you go, I didn't find anything, and all of a sudden they got a new house. Like that one lawyer on TV says, sometimes the lawyer needs more money than you do.
It's a shame that Rand Paul. Once the FBI, if the FBI gets involved with this and they do find that Democratic is behind it, I don't think the FBI can hide it. I don't think they can just shovel it up underneath the carpet.
I mean, honestly speaking, what can they do? Sanction them? They're not going to take the money. Who are they going to do? All they're going to do is the same thing they're doing right now with the investigations they're doing under the Russia probe that was false and everything else and spying on Trump. The little guy, the guy at the bottom end is taking the heat and going to take the rap.
Yeah.
And when he gets out, he's going to have a house and a car.
And a yacht.
And something. He's going to have stuff.
The more money he can.
They're not going to roll it up. And the bottom line of that whole thing, if you read what they said and you read all the information, there's no halfway intelligent person that can argue the point anymore. Biden, Obama, and Rice set up, planned it out, everything. That whole thing for Trump. Spying before he became president. everything.
That's, and they didn't, nothing happened to them.
Not a damn thing. Well, no, they got somebody being prosecuted now. Some third-rate person down in the FBI is being prosecuted for it now.
Yeah.
But nothing's going to happen. There's Biden's still on there going, I want to be a president. I have 40 years of experience of screwing shit up.
40 years of...
47, sorry.
47 years of doing what?
Actually, in the start, what was that quote he had? I don't want to I don't want to see the schools start to look like jungles.
Jungles.
That was
Yeah,
good,
I read that.
Yeah,
I've seen that. You sent that to me. And
see, I remember that. I'm old enough to remember. I remember when that was going on.
I don't remember. I wasn't paying that much politics back then.
And this is the guy they're going, this is our hero. This is the guy that's going to be our president.
He's not going to be president. If he gets elected, they're going to pull him out and put Harris in there. Somehow they're going to pull. But you know what? Even though she is a tiger, she's not going to be running the country. Pelosi. She's going to be running the country.
I would say it's a cabal. I hate to use the word cabal, but there's no better way to use it for it. It's behind them. I mean, look at even Harris. If you look at Harris and her stuff, if you read her stuff and listen to some articles, she literally hid evidence, DNA evidence, to keep innocent men in prison.
Yeah,
and that was going under there when they were working. What was it? 20 cents an hour or something, like some ridiculous number, that because they were using them as work projects. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to keep it high. She hid DNA evidence that would free people out of prison or not sent them there in the beginning.
It's a shame. But I'm telling you, follow the money. You'll find out who's doing it. At least
just don't give them no DNA.
The people in America will know who is behind it, as long as they don't sweep it under the rug. But this time, I don't think they can. I don't think Trump's going to allow that. I hope not.
I think they're going to. Honestly speaking, even if Trump wins, I think to take all the pressure off of them, they're going to go straight into another impeachment. I mean,
that's guaranteed. That's guaranteed.
Let's
waste more of my money.
Well, all they're doing that for is because if they do that, then that takes the pressure off everything else, and he doesn't have time to go after this because he's dealing with that.
Well, if they impeach him, then if the impeachment goes through, then they can take away his powers, and if they find it impeachable enough to impeach him, but not enough to remove him from office, then he can...
Well, all right. Well, think about this for a second. All right, we were just talking about the Congress and Senate. Congress did impeach him. The Senate didn't cover it. Mm-mm. 5 votes. Remember that? 5 votes. If that Senate changes from 5 votes, that crap that was a lie, that Congress said, yeah, we don't care if the crap that's a lie. We're going to impeach him anyway. The Senate would impeach him.
What was that movie that All the President's Men?
All the President's Men, yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. They researched. That's what I liked about that movie. Mm-hmm. They did, their boss was like, where'd you get the story from? Is it reliable?
You used to have, it's like that story that's in the Atlantic now. They're saying, bring your 4 witnesses forward saying that Trump said that stuff. They're not.
Yeah, I don't know what they are talking about on the. I know they've accused him of saying something.
Bad mouth as soldiers and stuff. But he had like 10 soldiers that were there and people that were there going, no, he never said that.
Yeah.
But yet they have anonymous sources.
But
those anonymous sources won't come out.
Mm-mm. No. Because there ain't none.
even if there were, they made up a lie and they can't back it up and they're not going to.
I'd like to find out if them 10 people that said he didn't say it, if they're Republican or Democratic.
Actually, it was supposed to be a thing of people that were there. It was soldiers and some regular people there with him. So I'm sure there was probably a lot of Republican. The soldiers might have been either way, but the people on the team with Trump while he was there, they would have been Republican.
Yeah.
But come on, I don't care who you are. There is no way you're not going to tell me, oh, well, there was so much going on and that got swept under the rug. Not a chance in hell. That would have come out 2 years ago when it happened. That would have been the biggest thing on the news for a week.
Yeah. I don't know. Just follow the money. I hope they get caught because they're ruining the country. They're running it right down the toilet. My kids have to grow up in this. My grandchildren have to grow up in this country, and I hope they straighten this mess out. I hope Trump gets back in office and
Pence gets in office after him.
Well, you know what?
That's the shot.
Trump Jr.
Yeah, I got to
He's
admit,
old.
I like him.
He's old enough. I've been watching interviews with him.
Yeah, I like it. I like.
He
Trump
talks.
Jr.
He talks better than his old man.
Oh, he definitely talks better than his old man.
And he's pretty smart. He's not a dummy.
Well, I think he's Harvard trained or something like that.
But
he's actually really good. I like the way he carries.
He's a good speaker.
What's funny is he carries himself a lot like. There's a guy I watch that does a podcast that's running for governor in Texas. Always wears a cowboy hat. He's actually a comedian guy. He's pretty funny.
I know who. Chad
something.
Yeah,
and he carries himself a lot like him. Just a normal. If you met him in the street somewhere, he would just be some guy.
I've seen Chad in his car. I've seen Chad get mad.
Oh, everybody gets mad. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. But Donald Trump Jr.
I see something to be contend with.
I really think he might have it. If Trump gets in this time again, Donald Trump Jr. is going in after him.
Well, I think Trump Jr. should. If Trump gets it this time again, I think Trump Jr. should either run for an office or be appointed to an office that's able to go into presidency after that, just to give him some more politics office time. I mean, granted, Trump came in with none, but still.
Trump came in with nothing.
But Trump has been in politics all his life. I mean, he was a Democrat at one time. He backed different things. He's always been in politics. He just never held an office.
I've watched interviews with him on TV shows back
the old ones
years ago.
Yeah,
and they'd ask him if he would like to go in to be the president, and he was in.
I remember when Oprah asked him, and I remember when before that Barbara Walters asked him.
Yeah.
I know I watched an interview with him where he said he was going to run the time before against Obama, but he wasn't finished with the projects he had. He wanted to get those done, so he had nothing on his plate, and he could just do this. That's why he ended up going against Hillary. I don't know that he would have beat Obama for the second run, only because there was nobody going to beat Obama in that. You had the
first black
president. You had everybody that was white voting for him just because they could say they voted for him because, see, I'm not racist.
I voted for him the first go around.
Well, I take Obama. Obama had almost no political history either, other than being a assemblyman in the city where he was from.
Yeah.
He was only in Congress, for 2 years, and he'd only voted in person voted 4 times in Congress for those 2 years.
But didn't they bring charges against him that he was selling his
vote? Yeah.
No, selling his seat.
Yeah, that's his vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's Democrats swept under the table. Nobody counts that. It doesn't work.
Yeah. If Trump did that.
Trump did half the stuff they're doing.
They'd tar and feather him.
His mind.
They'd tar and feather him. It's a shame. Follow the money, and you'll see who's behind it. I hope the FBI does get involved, and we start prosecuting people. I don't care, governmental or not. But that's all. That's all I'm going to say on it. I'm Doug.
Find out more. I'm Chris.
Y'all have a good day. We'll talk about something next time. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you want to talk about it or you want to talk about something else, put it in the comments down below. If we'd like for you to subscribe and ring that bell so every time we come up with a new video, you're notified. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.